Hey guys, Matt, Cichlid Dojo, back again with another, this time it's going to be a complete Mesoheros Festae update, or Red Terror update, on each of my three groups or pairs, I guess you can say, of wild-caught Rio Guayas Festae. As you guys know from past videos, I basically have three different breeding pairs. I try to label them in numbers. This first group that you're looking at, I call number one based on the male and his size. Unfortunately, you're not going to see much of the male in this video. He was being a little shy. You could see his tail a little bit in the pot. However, I got a cool little footage of the two big females in here that are constantly fighting over him, and he's bred with the one on the right, I believe. So they're always trying to get him to spawn, and the one on the right, she's a little bit more red. She's kind of taken to the pot on the right side, trying to entice him to come over there. She's up there in the corner right now, but she's kind of hanging out in the pot, and she'll come out and try to get him to basically come and spawn with him. I think she's ready. And the one on the left as well, sort of similar situation. I see him hanging out with the one on the left a little bit more, near that tube right there, and they're doing good. Always fun watching the females bicker like this. I do have a third female in here, and she's a smaller one, but she's equally as nice. I just have no place to put her right now, and she does well in here because I have a big group of silver dollars, and got a kind of the group thing going on, and none of the fish get really beat up in here. These two females, of course, are very similar size, and they compete, and they're going at each other. So you'll see them a little bit. The one on the right had a little bit of a rip tail, but they're doing good. The fry from this batch, they're doing well also. I believe there's about 40, and they're in a 10-gallon tank. So anyways, the next pair, these guys right now, I guess we're calling them pair number two, because of the male. Male is the second biggest out of the three that I have, and a little bit different vibe going on in their segment. As you know from following my videos, this tank right here is a 240-gallon. I basically have it divided almost halfway, a little bit bigger segment on the right. But this pair over here has been the earliest to form as a pair, the best getting along. There's no, really very little aggression, male and female aggression, and they're on their second spawn right now. It took them a little while to get going. This population, and maybe I can go back a little bit and talk about all the past breeders that I've had were Rio Esmeraldas, and I kind of similar to this situation. I started out with a group, actually multiple different groups of wildcaughts, and I started getting my F1 fish, growing them out, picking my future breeders, and kind of doing unrelated blood and whatnot. And then eventually I phased out of that population, as you guys saw probably from my last video with that big pair, which I shipped out to a buddy, and he's enjoying them. Those were the last of my Rio Esmeraldas. I really enjoyed them. Little subtle differences, I guess you could say. I mean, it's not consistently all fish that follow a pattern of a certain collection point or not, but what I've noticed and observed from the small amount of fish that I've kept from each population, actually quite a bit. I've grown out from the Rio Esmeraldas. I feel like the Rio Guayas have a little bit, the females, a little bit more color through the body, especially this female, a lot more red, and she's only around a 6-inch mark, I would say. In addition, the ones that I've kept, as far as bars are concerned, I've noticed they're a little bit more complete and full than the ones I've kept from the other population, the Rio Esmeraldas. So, you know, I was fortunate enough to pick these wild cuts up at a 1 to 2 inch size some time ago from a buddy who imported them, and you know, I saw enough to decide that this is basically the population I want to move forward with my breeding program, and it took a little while for them to get going, but now I think we have quite a bit of fry going. So pair number 2 is doing really well, fry in that breeder box. And then now to the last pair, and as you guys will see here, if you look closely, this pair has some free swimming fry right between the 2 plants, artificial plants there. And I decided to let them kind of raise the fry on their own to see how that goes. If you recall, they had the first spawn out of all 3 pairs they had, and it was a small batch, about 40, and that's where we're going to get into you know, announcing. I have had a lot of requests of getting fry from this collection point specifically. People have messaged me, and it's very hard to keep track of those messages, but I've always said, you know, trying to push the YouTube channel a little more and really show my appreciation for subscribers and people religiously watch the videos. I've mentioned that I would announce, try to announce fish available first on my YouTube video. So that batch, which I showed in my fish room update, is now available. I believe there's only about 35-40 of them. They're in the range of, I'd say, about 1 inch to a little over 1.5 inches. So very limited quantity of those guys, but yeah, the second this video goes live and up, please feel free to message me, and I'll take those you know, those requests and orders in the order they come. I know it's hard to keep a list of, you know, people who want this and that. I would just be sitting there all day long keeping lists, and then even when I make the lists, like in the Stalsbergie case, half of the people who asked to be on the list are no longer interested, and some of them were put on the list weeks ago. So it's very tough to do the list thing. So the only fair way I can think of is after I announce it one way or another, go ahead and shoot me a message. So those fry from this pair are now available, pair number 3. And if you're thinking about getting unrelated fry from another one of those 2 pairs, those should be available within the month as well. So again, limited quantities, but if you're following these videos, you'll be the first to know. So yeah, they're all doing good, all 3 pairs, and we'll see how this pair does with their fry, raising it for the first time by themselves without me pulling them. And hope you guys like the update, and until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.